Hi, everyone. From 1Route, I'm Jeffrey Ross, and you're watching the 1Route Roundup, the show that spotlights individuals making a positive difference in the telecom industry. Today, we're joined by Don Reinhart, currently the CEO of LATRO Services. He's previously been an application engineer at Tektronix, holds degrees from Johns Hopkins University and Bucknell University, and actively involved with the IoT Security Foundation, CFCA, GSMA Fraud and Security Group, and the Risk and Assurance Group. Don, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Great talking to you as always.
Yeah, I realized I also left off that I know y'all are also actively involved with a charity group there, right?
Yeah, we every year our employees spotlight a charity connected to one of the markets we're working in internationally. So we do a lot of work in the developing world, and one of the things our employees love to do is give back and support the people where in the places and markets where we're doing business. So this last year we supported the Bayat Foundation, which is one of the largest charitable organizations in Afghanistan.
That's fantastic, and I love that it's really about giving back, giving back to the communities in which you serve, and that's something that I failed to mention in the introduction, but I wanted you to cover it.
Thank you.
So I like to ask everybody that comes on, Don, where in the world are you today?
Today I am in Dubai. So in Dubai, UAE. I've been living here for the last 6 years with my family. So currently, one of my daughters is still living here with us. The other two are back in the U.S. at university.
So this is way off topic, but being a dad of a dad of daughters as well.
Yeah.
How are you at doing their hair when they were little?
Terrible.
Was it like the go-to? Was it a ponytail, or did you get the braid down?
Yeah. I could probably do a ponytail okay, but I grew up with one brother, so all the girl stuff was new to me. Hopefully I did an okay job getting up the learning curve.
Yeah, I have to tell you, my daughter asked me actually today if I could French braid her hair, and it's just one of those moments like, no, that is not in my repertoire.
Yeah. We'll do signing of TDM certificates, but no French braids.
No,
right?
That takes a whole nother data scientist on how to figure that out. So out of curiosity, what got you into the telecom? I know you've been essentially co-founded and been with LATRO for 16, 17 years, something like that.
Yeah, that's right. It has been.
So what really kind of led you into the telecom industry?
Yeah, so my first, I had a science degree, so I was looking for opportunities in the telecom technology industry right out of college. Ended up working, you mentioned a company called Tektronix, which is a large electronic test and measurement company, and was with them for 10 years. And over the course of my career there, got involved in a couple of communications telecom projects. And that's really what kind of piqued my interest, and especially in the early-ish days of mobile phones, was really interested and got involved in some business there, and the rest is history, as they say.
As they say, and the company is in good hands. Absolutely. So I know we've talked quite a bit, and I love what LATRO is doing out there in the industry, but I do have a question that might be on everybody's mind. Is there a story behind the Versa in your product selection?
Good question. I'd love to tell you that there's a 10-page strategic marketing document behind that, but that would not be true. Our vision when we started developing and launching these products is that we would have a versatile tool that would be able to handle a broad range of fraud problems. And so we went with the Versa moniker and have kept it. So you'll see in our product portfolio within the fraud management space, we like to use that And again, it's just supposed to reflect that we're trying to adapt and be versatile and stay one step ahead of the fraudsters.
Absolutely. And y'all are doing a great job at it. So
Thanks.
having worked and lived in both the US and in the UAE, along with your company doing amazing work on a global scale in multiple countries, can you give us or give the audience some perspective of what telcos are dealing with around the world? Is there a common type of fraud globally, or does everybody see different types of fraud?
I think I'd answer that by referring the audience to a few studies that get released periodically. So one of the kind of long-standing notable surveys in the industry is from the CFCA. They do every few years their fraud survey, and it's meant to be a comprehensive look at where the fraud problems across the world. And the slices of that pie change from report to report, but certainly the headlines sort of stay the same from year to year and report to report. So bypass fraud would definitely be one of the top ones, which is interesting, right? Because when's the last time you made an international phone call, right? You're probably using
I can
WhatsApp
tell you exactly. It was in February and it was on accident.
There you go.
I meant to hit the WhatsApp call button and I accidentally hit the normal call button.
Yeah. So I think the whole bypass fraud industry is in a transition right now as over-the-top digital services continue to grow. So WhatsApp, Viber, all these other messaging and voice applications. So that's changing the dynamic a bit, but especially in the developing world where termination rates are relatively high, there's going to continue to be an opportunity for arbitrage and fraudsters to do damage. So that continues to be an area where mobile phone companies need to allocate resources and put controls in place. Other kinds of fraud, PBX hacking, subscription fraud, SIM swapping. I think what drives a lot of the landscape is whether the market is primarily a prepaid or postpaid market. So in countries like the US or UK or other European countries that are primarily postpaid driven, you're going to see different kinds of fraud issues there, such as SIM swap, for example, than you do in developing markets where it's prepaid driven.
Do you see, in your experience and where LATRO is, do you find that there might be some countries that have a little more cutting edge technology, or I guess we could even go with continents, or areas of the world? Do you see some that are either cutting edge or just being more creative to fight the fraudsters?
I think I would look at that question two ways. One is, if you want to look at it from a pure technology standpoint, advanced analytics with artificial intelligence and machine learning capability is becoming more ubiquitous. So we're seeing that being applied across continents, across countries. I think mobile operators that are parts of larger multinational groups tend to be out in front, where the group is driving some of the technology strategy, and they have easier access to technology as well as the experts to help them put those controls in place. So I don't know that I could point to a specific geography. On the other hand, we see in markets a lot of innovative thinking out of necessity. So whether that's Africa, Central Asia, Middle East, where fraudsters are very entrepreneurial and innovative and creative. The fraud managers have to be on their game and come up with their own creative ways of problem solving that might not necessarily be tied to technology, but certainly innovative in the way they approach and think about controlling fraud.
we've been talking a lot about collaboration lately. We mentioned it at the latest RAG New Orleans conference, and it really got me to thinking about. I mean, if you think about collaboration in general, and look at how it has been applied at other industries. My formal background was in banking. Obviously, banking cross-border internationally, there had to be some kind of collaboration to solve a problem. I mean, you could probably even go into the music industry, but I also think of like the space industry. My goodness, we collaborate and we can put a rover on the Mars, and yet somehow we still have sim boxes. So with that being said, from your viewpoint, do you see collaboration as improving in the industry, like country to country, or do you still think there's room for improvement?
Yeah. So I think, the fraud management or fraud control segment of the industry is somewhat unique because in general, collaboration is a win-win for everybody, which it should be, right? That's why we collaborate. But you can even in those situations have competitors coming together and realizing that there's value in collaborating and sharing intelligence and information around fraud control strategies and approaches to trying to lock down markets from being exploited by bypass, for instance. So we do see that. It's very typical that in a given market, the fraud managers between the normally competitive operators work with each other regularly, share information, because in a lot of ways, fraud is sort of like a leaky dam, right? So there's one leak somewhere, you plug it, and then another one's going to pop up somewhere else. So you really need a comprehensive approach and a collaborative approach to get a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, I kind of look at it lately like mosquitoes. We're dealing with mosquitoes now. And if I fog my yard, I can get rid of the problem. But if my neighbors aren't helping me out and taking care of theirs, it's not solving any problem. So
exactly,
that's what I'm going to tell the audience, that fraudsters are mosquitoes. All right, Don. So this is what here at the end we realize over time, and as we do these things, or as we go to conferences and meetings with people, I don't, and I think you would agree, you don't really get to truly know somebody, like know who they are. So the good news is that the scientists over at the Late Show with Stephen Colbert came up with a questionnaire to really know who somebody is. However, we, the 1Route data scientists in the 1Route labs, tweaked that questionnaire a little bit. So it's 15 questions. And by the end, our audience should know who Don Reinhart is. Are you ready?
This is scary. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Don. What is the best sandwich?
A Reuben.
A Reuben. There you go. Right off the bat, you know exactly which one it is. What is one thing that you own that you should really throw out?
An old pair of sneakers.
I like it. What's the scariest animal?
One of the cats that lives in our house.
I think you got to keep one eye open on those cats.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not going to say anymore, otherwise I'll get in trouble with the family.
I know. I hear you on that one. Apples or oranges?
Apples.
That is correct. You know why?
No, I don't.
Because you can put peanut butter on apples.
There you go. That's right.
Don, I have to tell you, after doing a few of these, I've now learned that apparently peanut butter and apples is an American thing. I thought that was a global thing.
Interesting. Yeah, I never thought about that.
I'm learning that Americans apparently consume a lot of peanut butter. We love our peanut butter.
It is an American thing, right?
I get it. Apparently
Yeah.
so. That's have you ever asked anyone for their autograph?
Yes. I'm trying to remember. The last one I got was from a Philadelphia Eagle, I believe.
That's it. Was it
I don't remember which one though. This was
what
decades ago.
Michael Vick or oh, what is your favorite action movie?
Um, Jaws.
I, now Jaws is a classic. That's a good one.
That's a
That's
real good one.
that'll keep you awake at night if you're not careful. What is your favorite smell?
Favorite smell?
Mhm.
Um,
If COVID hadn't just completely killed your smell.
I like the smell, and especially, I guess, living in Dubai for the last 6 years, I miss it. The smell of fresh cut grass in the fall, because
Oh,
it reminds me of a sports Friday night sports
mm.
event.
Yeah, you know, sports, Friday night sports has its smell of its own in a good way.
Yeah.
what, what, what is your least favorite smell?
Cats.
All right. What was your first cell phone that you owned?
I bought the Tandy phone from Radio Shack. It was like a brick phone.
It was a self-defense phone.
That's right.
You
You
could
could
throw it.
definitely hurt somebody with it.
That's right. Do you prefer flat or sparkling?
Flat
Coffee or tea?
coffee.
Uh, that is the right answer. Do you ever preferred coffee? Are you like you go to a specific type of my wife's calling me a coffee snob sometimes, so I don't.
Yeah, I am particular about my coffee to some degree. So I prefer like a flat white or a strong latte.
There you go. I'm curious, do you drink it out of the what is like the glass mug, or do you have a
I prefer just a plain mug. Yeah, I don't like the fancy glasses
I try
and no
I'm used
flavors.
to just like a tin can apparently.
Yeah, yeah, and
What
absolutely no flavors, no vanilla, no
uh,
raspberry. Just
I'm with
plain.
you. I like coffee, just black. Don't otherwise you're just drinking milk with something else. What is the most used app on your phone?
Um, Probably WhatsApp.
Yeah, I understand that. If you had one song to listen to for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It would definitely be a Waylon Jennings song. Um, and it would probably be the duet with Willie on Good Hearted Woman.
There you go. I was waiting for it's just a good old boy. What number am I thinking of?
3.
No. Someday somebody's gonna get it. Describe the rest of your life in 5 words.
Work hard and have fun.
Don, you are now a known man. All that's left to do is roll out the red carpet. You look into the camera and tell the audience what is on the horizon for Don Reinhart and LATRO Services.
We are going to continue to beat fraud and be innovative revenue assurance and advanced data analytics company. We want to help solve the world's problems.
I love it. I love it. Don, thanks for being on the show. And to the audience,
Thanks,
make
Jeffrey.
sure to do the whole like, subscribe, share, tweet, whatever else you do in social media. And hang in there, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next go round. Cheers.